From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the Real Zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another conversation with Trent and friends. Actually, we got a good one tonight, real good one tonight. Actually, was talking to, on the latter part of the show, Mark made a comment about about being emotional. Who's the most logical or emotional, men or women? So tonight's topic is going to be emotional need. Who need it the most, men or women? Let's bring the ladies in real quick so we can get this thing started. I got a couple of tidbits, but we'll get this thing started. I had a nice, healthy conversation here. Ladies, what's going on?
Hey.
Oh my God. Everybody's sick in it tonight.
Everybody
I know Coach D is sick tonight. She's not feeling good. She's under the weather. She's a trooper. She's a trooper and still showing up for the conversation.
No, because I didn't want you all to get misogynistic on me.
She's a trooper and a fighter. Good stuff. Well, we appreciate you coming through as always and appreciate your loyalty to the show. Really appreciate that. Good stuff. Tonight's conversation is brought to you by Taylor Kennedy Media, of course. Good stuff. And we're streaming everywhere tonight. We're going to have a nice, healthy conversation on emotional needs as well as who's logical and who's emotional and see what the ladies laying on that. I got a couple of tidbits here talking about that stuff. But actually, Mark brought up a great topic about, emotional needs. What's your thoughts on that, Coach D and Shannon?
Go ahead, Coach D.
That everyone equally needs emotional support. And this theory that men don't need it is why we have so many suicides among men. Why PTSD is not treated properly. All this stuff. And to be honest, anybody who says that men aren't emotional is full of BS.
Well, tonight I'm actually agreeing with you on that. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. And actually, I'm agreeing with you 100%, 1,000%. Actually, to be honest with you, who needs it the most? I'm going to say it's equal. But who actually needs it the most is the one that's unhealed.
That's actually good.
Who actually needs it the most is the one that's actually unhealed. But I'll start off with some tidbits about what men need as far as emotional needs. I know I need some emotional needs as well. So I got a couple of tidbits I wrote down, and we'll get this thing going here. But here's a fact for men. Men need and want intimacy just as much as women do. Mutual respect, trust, support, and communication. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think that's absolutely, I agree with that. I think that's absolutely true. Hey, Mark, welcome.
What up, Slash?
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Mark says the research from academics based at the universities of Bath and Cardiff finds that whereas men have lower emotional needs, women report greater need to engage in emotional experiences.
Well, we're gonna agree to disagree on that tonight, Slash, because I truly believe that I got 5 steps, 5 emotional needs that both men and women, which are actually critical.
Did you say you're disagreeing with him?
We're going to agree to disagree, yes.
Wow.
We're talking healthy conversations here. We're talking healthy conversations tonight, and I'm not going to be finger pointing. We're talking healthy conversation. May step on both toes, men and women tonight. So anybody can get it tonight. But let's get down to the 5 critical needs: respect, treated with kindness, treated with courtesy, acceptance, feelings and opinions and ideas are valued, importance, and feeling useful. Both men and women need that. If you're not getting support at home, come on, what you in a relationship for? So it's a mutual thing here. That it goes back to, like I said, unhealed. Who needs it the most? The unhealed partner.
Well, so we have a Facebook user that says women express our needs more. However, men need it more. They just don't say it.
I totally agree with it.
Are you saying that we express our needs or we express our emotions more? Um, uh, I just want to make sure we're clear on on your statement there, because it would make sense to me if you're saying that we express. I mean, I do think sometimes we express our needs more, but I do think that we also are able to express emotions more than men.
In my opinion, I think
It's just
women express. In my opinion, I think women express their emotions more because they're very. I mean, they speak on the need, but they stress their emotion more.
That's
Well,
because
you
In my
guys,
opinion,
society allows them to.
right? And I think, does it seem to me that it's kind of not a societal norm for men to, we don't make it acceptable or a positive experience for men to show any type of emotion, to show a large amount of emotion. I think emotions are kind of centered or tied with being weak, I think.
Yeah.
I totally agree, and that's why I'm here. I come in hot, coming to help the guys out tonight, because I'm a very emotional guy. I express myself, and I express exactly how I feel. Hell, I'm an author. I've authored 10 books on feelings, on my personal feelings. But let's talk about a few tidbits that will stimulate a man emotionally. Number one, let's keep it sexy. It's no secret that men love sex. Number two, the importance of physical touch. Physical touch. Number three, remain a mystery. Number four, taking interest in his life. Again, taking interest in his life. Number five, taking interest in his hobbies. Number six, have an affirming attitude. Have an affirming attitude. Number seven, really important, show respect. And number eight, surprise him. If
What
you
does
want to
this
get a
have?
man, I'm
But,
sorry,
no,
say that again.
but none of these have to do with a man expressing his own emotions. Women aren't
I agree.
responsible for a man's emotions. Those are all about somebody being responsible.
This is what a man needs and wants as far as emotions. Stimulate him emotionally. That's what he needs.
Okay,
That's exactly what he needs.
I
Go
guess
ahead.
I can see that. It didn't sound like that's how you were setting this up when
Yeah.
you were down the list, but okay, I get that.
Now I got there's two separate lists for men and women. We'll share throughout the show. But go ahead. You guys want to talk about that list?
No, our Facebook user, I think, hi, Shira. Thanks for tuning in. She says men see, I guess, expressing emotion as a sign of weakness. So,
I totally agree.
yes, I absolutely agree.
I totally
But
agree.
men are taught that from the time they're children. Like how many times you've heard people tell a little boy who's crying to man up?
Right.
Like, we do our sons a huge disservice by starting with the toxic masculinity from the time they're in diapers.
Mm.
Like I've been in groups where women won't allow their boys to play with cook sets or baby dolls because it's weak. I'm like, what? They're never going to eat or have children? Like, if we keep stunting our boys' growth, then when they become adult men and are unemotional and are unable to express themselves, we can look back to exactly how they were raised.
Totally agree. Totally agree. But let's talk about the women on the other side. So we're gonna even this thing out tonight
Mm-hmm.
as far as emotional needs. Now, do you find that most women, when they're expressing themselves on what their needs, they're very emotional? How do we get past that, and how do we actually get them to communicate in a proper way, in a healthy way? Let's talk about talking healthy to one another, to express your needs. But I mean, you can be passionate about expressing yourself, but let's be fair and be honest here. You have to speak when you speak to him or her, when he's speaking to her, it has to be in a healthy manner. Because if you're coming at me with the rah, 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 I'm not going to hear you. I'm going to shut down. I'm going to completely shut down. And vice versa, more than sure, if I'm coming rah, 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 you're going to shut down on me. Communication's going to be out the door.
Well, then you're not a safe person for somebody to express their emotions with. There should not be limitations on how somebody should express their emotions.
I'm talking about healthy conversation.
Yeah, wait a second. In a healthy conversation, if somebody wants to express their emotions, the other person will listen. They will not shut them down because they're not speaking to them the way they want to. They listen.
But there's a way that you speak to one another. It's got to be a way that you speak to one another, because if you, let's just say, if I'm actually biting your head off but expressing myself, but I'm biting your head off, you're not going to hear me. Am I right or wrong?
I listen because I want to know where the anger is coming from. You can't figure out.
You're trained to listen.
But you can't figure out the source if you don't know where it is. That's what's the difference between being a safe person and not. A safe person will listen to all emotions, whether they want to or not, because the emotions are not going to affect you. You're listening to somebody else pour their heart out.
Exactly. So that goes back to who needs it the most. The unhealed person needs it the most.
But somebody can be healed and not heard.
I can agree with that.
It's the unheard person that needs it the most.
I can agree with that.
Elaborate on that a little bit more.
What, healed and not heard? So you could be there. There's this thing that everybody thinks that because somebody is healthy or they've been taken to therapy, that people listen to them. But that's not true. You can have two people who are in a healthy relationship. They both went to therapy, and they're still not listening to somebody because, like you said, they're not saying it the way they want. I talk to a lot of people who try to express their emotions and keep getting shut down because the person doesn't want to hear what they have to say. They refuse to listen to anything negative. So anything negative automatically puts them on the defensive. They start criticizing. But the person could be talking about negative things in their own life that has nothing to do with the other person. And if somebody's not a safe space for somebody to be able to just barrel out all their emotions.
I can agree with that, and I can be a little transparent here in the early part of the show. I'm always reminded, people have to remind me that I wasn't in this space years ago. So I'm always expecting people to be where I'm at. And that's one of my toxic flaws, where I shut completely down if they're not hearing me. And I know I'm feeding their soul, but if they're not hearing me, I shut completely down. But I have to work on that. I know exactly I get exactly what you're saying, Nadine. Totally get it. But that's totally on me, shutting down, because I don't want anything negative in my vortex. So I'm still a work in progress with that. So trying to work through meeting people where they are, not where I'm at. I get it. I get it.
All right. Well, we've got a couple of comments here from Lanya. She said, I think she says not just who need it most. So I guess we're not trying to figure out not just who needs it most, but who, man or woman, they should get it from. Okay, meaning I'm assuming emotional support is what she's referring to.
Right.
And she said, let me say why I said that. My husband, I am saying this right. Not my husband, I am saying this right. Oh, she's being funny. She says, not husband, is in jail right now because he didn't get emotional support. Now, it may be another show, but because he was neglected emotionally, he claims it caused him to try to kill my kids. Now I'm going to say men need it most. My soon-to-be ex never received emotional support from his mom. Wow.
That's deep.
She says, now the women that I ran across who lacked emotional support only made future bad relationship choices in men, I'm assuming. That's what she's saying. And don't take it personally, can jump out of bag violently. She said that's been her experience. Hey, Brendan, welcome. Brendan says, I'm more like coach and listen without getting angry about how my spouse's volume or anger may be, and just listen.
Good stuff, Brandon. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. If somebody's talking to you, they're just giving you information. And information only has the amount of power that you give it.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's criticizing you, you just take the information in. If you want to get defensive and go off on a tangent, that's not going to help because you've not heard. You're listening to reply, not listening to understand.
Right.
Exactly.
I always kind of took the position that when people get that emotionally charged when listening to other people, that maybe some of what they're saying is a little bit of truth, and you can't really accept the I guess maybe the ugly truth of what they're saying that may be true about you, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the old hit dogs holler.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's like
Now,
if you talk to people and they say positive vibes only, there's some issues going on there that they're not able to take in information that they deem anything but anything negative.
pretty much.
Right.
Pretty much. So let's throw that question that came in on the latter part of the show last week when D and I was on, what Mark's saying, what he said. Now, men are logical thinkers. I'm a logical thinker, but I also have a great balance of emotional needs within that logical thinking. So, who's more logical in that area, men or women? I say it depends on the individual, their life's experiences.
Yeah, I would say that I wouldn't categorize it, and because I've seen both. I've seen it on both spectrums. I've seen women who are very analytical and very logical thinkers and lack a lot of emotion with certain things, and
Yeah.
I've seen men who are extremely emotional
Yeah.
without any logic.
I'll give you guys an example of logical thinking. My ex-wife is a serious logical thinker to the point where I would get emotional. She was so logical. I'm like, damn, wait a minute. This is unreal. She was like a serious logical thinker, like almost to the point where no feelings involved. I didn't know how to deal with that, but over the years, I had to learn how to deal with a woman that being a logical thinker and not being emotional. It took a ton of years for me to get with that and understand that. Like, wow, okay, well, women can be logical thinkers. And nothing's wrong with a woman being a logical thinker. Nothing wrong at all. But it has to be blended in with a little bit of emotion. With emotion, you're going to have a little compassion. You're going to have passion within that. You can't be a robot around here. It has to be a blended mix, in my opinion. What you guys think?
I looked at dozens and dozens of studies on brains from neuroscientists at MIT and Harvard, Duke, all over the country. And there are so few differences in how our brains operate. Remember, we only know about 5% of how our brain works.
Right.
So they looked at like how brains were mapped and whether who had stronger cortex and everything. And when it came down to it, the differences were so subtle that even such as something such as a change in language or a change in area, culture, or a woman hitting menopause changes how the brain works. So you can't say like one gender is more logical than the other because it just doesn't match the science. And,
but I think like even with my ex-wife, the way she was wired and that logical thinking, that was part of her past. The way she was, it was almost like a robot. Some of the things that took place in her past, she was emotional at that point. At sometimes, I mean, she's better now, but when we were married, she was emotionless.
Yeah, but think about this though. Also, when you add in differences in brains, like I'm dyslexic, so when for instance, when I read a book, I literally
is that right? I didn't know that.
I literally see the book in my head. So when I go to watch a movie, I'm always disappointed because it's never as good as what I saw in my head already.
Exactly.
And so I think spatially. Whereas people like, what do you mean you think spatially? Like if I look at a room, I could literally redecorate the room and see everything how it's supposed to be without like drawing it or writing it down. So when you start putting in and like autism, ADD, ADHD, how our brains work. There's no one way to like say this is who we are and this is how we react, because there's so many variances out there. And so when
Right.
I know I know men who are very analytical, whose wives are more analytical, and it just depends on a lot of things. Our big problem is that culture values men's logic over women's logic.
I could agree with that.
So that is the big difference. Is for centuries we've had, oh, men are the leaders, they can do this, they can do that, and women not supposed to worry their pretty little heads about anything.
Right.
And it's like, whereas nowadays that has been evening out because women have been given access to
Yeah, but you know what though?
jobs.
You have to be a strong individual as far as men. I'm speaking on men at this point. You have to be a strong man to be able to deal with a woman like that. You have to. I mean,
You just have to be secure in your manhood.
exactly. Exactly. Mark says,
why is it that children can see women as authority figures, 8, 9, 10-year-old little boys, and grown men can't?
Yeah. Let's get to the comments real quick.
So Lanya said, and Lanya, you have to make sure that I'm getting what you're trying to say is coming across correctly, as far as what your intent is. But she says, I am so unheard a lot, but to be unhealed, that can put you to a breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I'm getting interviewed on this very thing when I get to St. Louis by 4 different people. And being unhealed is dangerous. This is why emotional support is detrimental. Me being unheard, ? Oh, well, go on with life until I'm heard. So maybe you can expand on that, because I'm not quite sure. Maybe tell us, or if you want to share with us, what you mean by why you feel that you're unheard, or what your experience with what that looks like for you, what you're experiencing.
Yeah, she spoke on being unheard when I interviewed over in Missouri. All these different ideas before she started all these businesses. Her entire family, she was unheard by her entire family. She would tell them exactly what she was going to do, what she was going to implement, and everybody just brushed it off like it was nothing. This woman amassed an entire big amount of wealth behind those ideas and those thoughts and everything. She was unheard for years from a kid. So that's what she's talking about with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mark said some men were told to man up. Many athletes were coached to shake it off. Parents, coaches, educators, and pastors also learned to provide more information because the world and society has not. I'm assuming is what he's saying. Hey, Earth, welcome.
What up, Earth?
She says that's her son's brand. # no two brains are the same.
Little Sebastian, I love it.
Oh, this was part 2 to his comment. He says helmets, elbow pads, or knee pads. Therefore, the world still looks at kids, athletes, and men and says, man up. So do women. Let's keep it a buck. You can't have it both ways.
That's true.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, come on now.
Have it both ways.
I'm a conscious parent coach. I talk to parents every day about raising sons who are emotionally healthy. The man up thing does nothing but end up with men who are unable to be secure in their emotions. You end up men who can't talk to people. You end up men who are angry and frustrated and can't express it because nobody will listen to them because they've been told their entire lives to man up. It's toxic. It's traumatic.
This is what we're going to get to the meat and potatoes and the healthy conversation. This is exactly where I wanted this to go, because I honestly think that there's a balance. You have the parent has to create a balance within that boy to man up and be compassionate at the same time. My father did it very well. My father did that very well, and he got to be compassionate and man up at the same time.
You don't ever have to use the word man up. Don't ever have to use it.
Yeah, I know how you are with words. I know how you are with words and all that good stuff. But
words matter.
And they do. I totally agree. But I believe that there's a healthy balance, and that's on the responsibility of the parent to do that, to implement that in that child. There's a healthy balance.
Yeah, that's why you have communication, connection, and empathy.
Exactly.
At no time do you ever tell a child to man up and tell them to suck up their emotions. That's never going to do anything.
but yet as a society we do.
We do,
And
exactly.
that's why we end up with a bunch of unbalanced individuals.
Thank you.
Oh, we got a new viewer, Kenya Catchings from Facebook. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Kenya, what's going on, lady? What's going on?
And she made the comment about emotional intelligence. Yes, and that there's truly a balance. Yes, I think you have to have a healthy balance.
Absolutely. Hey, Kenya, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you, lady.
Yeah. You get a healthy balance for communication.
I totally agree with that, and that's where the problem at. Honestly, that's where the breakdown between the sexes happening right now. No communications happening. Everyone's just talking at each other. Yeah, I mean, you see that in the videos that these people are posting daily. They're talking at each other, not to each other. Nobody's having an understanding, and that's so frustrating to me. Nobody's having an understanding. I really would like to get down to the meat and potatoes of why we can't communicate with one another effectively and healthy.
Because there's this trend currently in social network with like the Andrew Tatums and the Derek Jacksons and all these guys who are unhealed. They're giving you bad advice. They're telling, and the whole "I'm the man, you do what I say" is toxic. There's no communication, and they're not encouraging healthy communication. They're encouraging control and subversiveness. They talk about submission, but they're not talking about submission. They're talking about being a servant because they don't know what submission is. Because submission requires communication, respect, loyalty, honesty, and safety.
Now you know I'm about to throw a monkey wrench in the plan.
No,
what's that?
So tell me where the shared responsibility on the woman's part as well. I'm agreeing with you with these guys because I know the guys you're talking about. I'm agreeing with that, but come on, it can't be one-sided. Not even in a relationship. You can't be one-sided on certain things. You got to be down the middle.
Was I not very specific talking about two very specific groups and a trend that's currently happening?
You are. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
So when it comes, as I've told always, everything is two-sided. It's always two-sided. However, currently, men refuse to do their side. Studies have shown it. Statistics have shown it. Psychology Today came up with articles about it. Men aren't doing the work, and they're complaining that women aren't listening to them. No, they're not listening because you're unhealthy and you're talking BS, and nobody wants to put up with it anymore.
I think honestly, I think the numbers are kind of even on that now because women are not listening as well.
The numbers are not even; they are fairly skewed.
Send me those numbers like you always do, please, because I need to see it.
I will.
I need to see it. Not like when we talk.
They're gonna die old and lonely because nobody wants to care for them anymore.
Knock it off, D. Knock it off. I thought you were sick. Thought you were gonna take it easy a little bit.
Listen, I am being purely honest, man. I talk to people all the time, and people are like, "D, well, this guy says this." I'm like, "Why are you listening to him? Is that what you think?" He's like, "Well, no." And then why are you listening to people that you fundamentally disagree with?
I got a quick question for you. How far are you in this course that you're taking? How far are you?
What, the relationship course? Why?
Yeah. I'm just asking.
I'm like a couple of months in.
Okay. All right.
That's not neither here or there. They're actually just confirming what I've already said.
I know. I'm just asking. I'm just kidding. That's cool. It's 31 after hours. You guys want to let it breathe for a minute, or what you guys want to do?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, bring those numbers back for us, Coach D. Yeah, bring those numbers back.
You're a mess. You know she's pulling them up. We'll be right back, folks.
Thanks for tuning into Conversations with Trent. We will be right back. Thanks for tuning into Conversations with Trent. We will be right back with more conversation after these commercial breaks.
If the lion is the king of the jungle, how can he be the king of the jungle? If he's not the biggest, the elephant is probably one of the biggest. He can't be the fastest because that's a cheetah. He can't be the smartest. So he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the smartest. So how does a lion become the king of the jungle? His mentality.
Check out the creative work of the author Trent Williams of www.taylorkennedymedia.com. Chapter of the Delta gives us a peek at his life-changing events. And if that's not enough, Trent tells you more about his brothers and his life through memoirs in his book, The Four Horsemen. His blogs and daily stimulating quotes are published in his book, Life's Little Addiction. And when you have a need of some human coaching of life and relationships, take a look at Conversations with Trent, Volume 1 and 2, and Conversations with Trent, Limited Edition. You will find his works available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all online book retailers.
Welcome back to Conversations with Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're online and want to be a part of tonight's topic, you can do that by dialing 347-324-5327. Press the number 1 to get into the queue so that your voice can be added to tonight's conversation. Now, let's get back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Good stuff. Last ad, that was Tab's Edible Creation. As you can actually see the wonderful, beautiful boxes of array of cookies and all that good stuff from Tabs. TabsEdibleCreation.com is a spot for your overloaded chocolate chip cookies and those infused cakes. Good stuff. And it's a great time to talk about the new platform that's coming this fall. Fall is upon us, and I love fall. I could thrive in fall with the conversation over the years. That's my favorite time of the year when fall comes. But we're moving platforms, same folks moving the platform, though. It's going to be, you guys hit the subscribe on the YouTube now because the price of business has gone up. Subscribe to the Apple TV, the Fire TV, the Roku stick, bringing us into your living room. It's going to be $6.99 a month. $6.99 a month. So subscribe now. You get a nice break coming in with the $6.99 deal. Price of business is going up for the conversation, and we have it here for you guys, free of charge until further notice. Good stuff. Coach D, Shannon. So back to this, these numbers. I'm sure she dug these numbers up. What you got for us?
What's that?
Yeah, did you dig up numbers?
Actually, I was looking at the Pew Research analysis of 2019, and it's going over the gap. 50% of marriages of people over 50 are heading to divorce. And they gave 4 reasons why.
Uh-oh.
Yes, what is that?
Reason number 1, and these are divorces initiated by women. Lack of emotional connection, poor communication, feelings expressed from a distance, and lastly, relationship not meeting their needs.
And where did this survey come from?
That was Pew Research. Anyway, it's saying that in because we are living longer and old, like 20, 25 years, 70 is now not like you got 5 years to leave. Kind of thing.
Right.
You got another couple of decades, and people are not staying in relationships where their emotional needs are not being met anymore.
Okay.
And those emotional needs are not being met by men. Like the Gen X boomer guys, sorry, but y'all need therapy. Like you need to do some work.
Some men need therapy. Some men, because some men like myself have done the work already. So I like.
Oh Lord.
Let's speak some.
Lord.
Let's say some.
Let me drink to this one.
You need
y'all
to
know
work.
wasn't. Yeah, y'all know I wasn't gonna let y'all fly on that one. Come on.
I mean, really?
Ladies and gentlemen, these two beautiful ladies here love to back me in the corner every single week.
It's not about it's owning your sugar honey iced tea, and sometimes I forget that you still have sugar honey iced tea to own.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've got some comments. Ursula says, "I agree with D. For years, men have taken the forefront within communicating, so much so that we witness it with religious ministries and television." LOL, Pat Robinson. So fast forward to today, all we have is men leading in some sense, but everyone listening with rocks in their ears.
Boom.
That's true. Everyone listens to respond, and people today rarely listen to learn or communicate effectively.
Boom.
Everything has a starting place and point. Absolutely. And I totally agree that the people listen to respond, not to really listen to hear and understand what the other person is saying. And I think that's kind of my thing when people are always interrupting, and it's like because they're not listening. And to me, that's a form of feeling that you think more highly of yourself and don't value the person that is actually talking to you or communicating with you, because you're all you can think about is what you want to get out and say.
I'll be like I said in the early part of the show, I'll be a little transparent here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on. Someone always reminded me that some folks are not where I am today. Some folks, hint, always reminded me, Shannon. But I have to agree with them because I'm expecting for those folks to be there already. But that's one of my toxic traits I'm still working on. I'm still working on it.
And I think it's also important to understand that, and I'm not just saying you, but where you're at may not be the perfect place for other people.
Exactly.
Because it's good for you and right for you doesn't necessarily mean it's the right fit for them. It's their journey and their experience that they have to go through.
That's true. And they have to, and I'll add on to that, they have to deal with their own unhealed stuff. So I have to continue working on myself with stop trying to be a fixer when I see someone unhealed.
Well, I look at it this way, and I think I learned after bumping my head enough and trying to, being frustrated with people. It's like, why be frustrated with people? The only person that I can affect any change or have any control over how he acts or does anything is me.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
And to work on, and so now I just work on not really being affected or impacted by how other people respond or how they act to a certain extent.
Mark has a pretty long comment here.
He says, yet not everyone receives that healthy balance. Social media gurus aren't the end all be all. There's also on the ladies' side, just pearly things, Melanie King and retired dating coach Monique Kelly. I don't know any of those people. And he said, men's emotional needs, affection, sexual fulfillment, intimate conversations, recreational companionship, honesty and openness, physical attraction, financial support, domestic support. Those are men's emotional needs.
Well, that's true. That's true. I pointed some of that out in the beginning of the show, but yeah.
He said, while researching tonight's topic, 90% of men's needs were in articles based about being in relationships.
You need to Google better.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I thought you was sick.
I'm sick, not stupid.
Oh.
I thought you was sick. Please put the rocks down. Please put the.
Oh my gosh! She said you need to Google better.
The marathon can see your brother. I see your brother. Marathon does continue. I see you, brother. Good stuff.
Google single men.
What did you say, D?
He has to Google about single men. You have
Hey,
to be
Shannon,
very, if you're gonna, yeah, you have to be very specific in the research. Otherwise, you'll get one side only. If you only, you know, what I mean? You want to find out
can you read that comment to me for a second?
They're
That's a
very
good friend of mine.
Vernell Nardi Wiley says all beings #TMC. Not sure what that means.
There he is. There he is. Good stuff. I appreciate you tuning in, brother.
Do we need an interpreter as well for this one?
No.
I don't know what that means.
What did he say? Tell me what he said. What did he say? What did he say? What did he say?
It just says all beings and then #TMC.
The marathon continues. That's something personal between he and I. Marathon continues.
I mean,
He's a good friend of mine.
There's 3 people on this podcast. Are you going to interpret what all that means, though? Like, that's not fair to us.
What does it mean?
Exactly.
The marathon continues.
But
he's not. It has nothing to do.
That's the hashtag. What is all beings? What does that mean? Hey, that's what I'm talking. Hey, birthday girl, Martine. Happy birthday.
My favorite Detroit. Happy birthday, lady. Happy birthday.
Thank you for coming to spend it with us. But yeah, what does that mean? What is Vernell? What is all? How do I say? Is it Vernell? Vernell? What is it?
Vernell.
What does all beings mean? We're gonna have to do you like we do Mark. We need you to work with us in complete sentences. Please, sir. We appreciate you being on here, but we all want to be able to have some understanding on what you're saying. It's effective communication. That's exactly what we've been talking about. Just saying. These ladies. You should have known when I wasn't here Sunday that it was I had to make up for it.
Don't start. I
had to make up for it. Actually, Martine and I were both at a festival on Sunday, which was cool.
Oh, nice.
We weren't there together. We just happened to. We found out later we were both at the same spot.
Okay. Party. He's a hot summer in Atlanta.
All human beings are emotional beings. We're 98% water, for crying out loud.
Well, I mean, let's go. If you believe what the Bible says about Adam and Eve, Adam made an emotional decision when he decided to eat the apple or bite the apple. Right? It wasn't logical. It was emotional.
Yeah, because he allowed that woman to get in his head.
Probably wasn't an apple though.
Or whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever he did.
You're a mess. You're a mess. Yeah, but that Adam was the man who allowed that woman to affect him emotionally.
Oh God. It's all okay. Martine says we both need our emotions to be catered to. Yes, we do.
Thank you, my favorite Detroiter.
Oh, touche. Here we go. So Coach D, Mark says, so after all these years, I don't know how to research. Typical princess response. # shaking my damn head.
Sir, if all your research was about married men, then you have men in relationships and you didn't research single men. That you said that yourself.
For our new viewers, we have very, very, very strong-headed and very independent women on the platform who speaks their mind, and I allow them the microphone to say what they got to say. And Mark's gonna always give them the business, and they'll give him the business back. So this is normal. This is normal conversation here on the platform for us here.
Did you say allow?
Yeah,
I did.
So I googled emotional needs of single men, and
there she go.
A lot of articles came up, sir. So
there she go.
That Marine part is, go Army.
Your turn, Mark. Your turn, Mark. Come on.
And Shannon, for folks, the new viewers, Shannon's always stirring the gumbo pot, even though she can't cook gumbo.
Oh,
but she stirs the gumbo pot.
You need to tell. Don't do that. Don't be out here having these folks think that I can cook.
Oh, you can cook. You can definitely cook, but gumbo.
And I can cook gumbo too.
You can do a little gumbo, but the way New Orleans does.
I can cook gumbo. Just because I don't live in New Orleans don't mean I don't have.
Your spoon is good. Your spoon is good.
Don't do that. You don't want to go
your spoon is good. Your spoon is good. Knock it off.
I know it is. I know it's better than good, sir. Thank you. People pay money for it. I know it's better than good. Don't do that with me.
Well, here, based on my last Google search,
yes,
there's 9 basic emotional needs everyone needs. 1, security. We need a safe place. 2, volition. In order to be fulfilled, we need to feel like we have the power to exist autonomously. Attention, receiving attention from people we care about and giving them attention is valuable. Emotional connection to community, privacy, a sense of self, a sense of achievement, and meaning.
Okay.
Those are all emotionally basic, whether you're single or married.
But let's get back to this emotional situation here. And when I open the show up, both parties is equal. Both parties need it. Both parties need it. It's a mutual thing here, man. Just like respect, mutual. Just like support, mutual. Just like trust, mutual. Just like communication, mutual. It takes two.
It does. Anybody who says that one side needs it more than the other needs to work on it, because we all
totally agree.
Equally.
I think it may be that men need a little bit more work on being able to express it and being okay with expressing it, not being judged, So anyway.
Folks, they got a conversation going. Ursula says something.
Hold on, I've got to go back up. So Martine says, "I will not put up with a man who's dry and not showing." Did you mean to put hood emotions or his emotions? Okay, gotcha. I was about to say, okay. And she said, "If he's unemotional, how can I trust and feel comfortable with him?"
Exactly.
She says, "I'm lovey-dovey and not afraid to express." Absolutely, I get that.
Exactly.
And then Mark had a question, and I'm not sure where this is coming from, but he said, also, why were women cursed? Cursed with what? Let us know what you mean by that. What were we cursed?
You're talking about women being cursed with having periods.
I think we got past the marketing tonight. I think past the marketing tonight. What did he say he was going to?
Yeah. Did they let him graduate from seminary school? Is that what it was? Ursula says, sounds like Jasmine Sullivan. You better. Where she said, you better say I'm lost. Maybe I don't know.
Hey, my homeboy responded back to you, Shannon. Can you catch him?
He says, meaning male and female are equal, emotional creatures. We all are. Okay, absolutely. We all agree.
Exactly. Actually, that's one of my homies from my hood. Good stuff. Shout out, brother. Shout out. I appreciate
Mark said
you,
the spicy red beans are coming with new and exciting segments.
Oh yes. Oh, it's gonna be real nice. It's real nice. Real nice. Nice.
What's the spicy red beans? Who are the beans? Who are the spicy?
It's gonna be actual mellow. It's actual mellow hour, like within that hour. So when we move to the other platform,
who's asking?
The viewers, because you've already told everybody about Romello and got that book resurgent and all that good stuff. Really appreciate it.
Where did this come from? There's a whole different segment about asking a new segment asking about Romello. What are we asking you? How to be a hoe? Like
see that she go. What? I was surprising them with this part. I was surprising them with this. But it's for the viewers, for the book, to promote the new book, Romello, and his love interest in that book.
Okay. Martine says there has to be a balance in my union, whoever he is.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
So when is this new segment coming?
Actually, we'll move over to the TV.
Oh, I guess this was new to us too. All right.
Yeah, it was going to be a surprise, but Mark just spilled the beans. Then Coach has an hour, and then you actually have an hour within that as well. Yeah.
Did he ask you about what you want to do, D?
No. I mentioned it. I vaguely mentioned it.
It was very vague because I don't remember it.
Yeah, because you're full of dope right now.
Anyway.
Mark says men are not the only ones who have issues with emotional intimacy. Much of the work I do with women is also centered around the fears that get stirred up around closeness and being seen. First of all, what work are you doing with women? That's what I really want to know.
That's what I was going to say. Because, sir.
Wait, what the hell did you get yourself there?
I thought you were sick. You when I talked to you in the green room.
I am sick. I have a fever of 102.
Yeah, with a sack of rocks in your head.
Point exactly. But what is she doing? She's not in the bed acting like she's dying of Ebola. She's actually here doing what she needs to do, not performing, but doing what she needs to do.
Yes, she's very loyal to the conversation. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Sir, don't go there.
Okay.
No, I'm not loyal.
You just got
It's not about loyalty. I thought the subject was going to be something else. And yeah, I thought I didn't want you unsupervised.
I already know you're going to be supervised. You know, ladies and gentlemen, these ladies are always trying to push me around. I'm fresh out of the wheelchair. They push me around and boss me around.
Oh, it's time to log off right now. Okay.
I need to say the title word. What?
Did you say fresh out the wheelchair?
You know, I'm partially still in recovery, and
maybe part of your brain is.
You know, what they did say bleed on the brain. So, you know, that's why you guys are there to help me along and push me along and then encourage me and inspire me.
Gotcha. I'm still waiting to see what work Mark is doing with women.
I'm waiting on that too.
Hey, listen, come on, give Mark a break because Mark is actually helping. He's doing a ton of stuff with the new platform.
We're talking about his comment. I'm not talking about what he does behind the scenes for the show. I want to know what work, like, is he coaching and counseling? Like, what work are you doing with women?
I can't speak for Mark.
That's what we're trying to speak for Mark. He's working with women. Like, what is he doing?
Hey, what Martine say? Heck no. What did I do? What I do?
Heck no, Trent. Exclamation point with her laughing her ass off emoji. Like, ain't nothing wrong with you. Okay, so Mark, you're welcome, Martine. She said, thank you for the birthday love. And Mark says, it is not a partner's job, and men have been given no reason from the culture they inhabit to trust they'll be safe and accepted. Therapy in men's groups, however, can make a remarkable difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you can't be accepted by your partner, you probably have the wrong partner.
Yep. So Mark, we still want to know about this work that you do with women. Is there a group that you meet with, or what's going on with that?
He's doing work with you guys right now for pushing me around.
No, he's not doing work. He
comes in and assists me every week with you guys because you guys are a handful.
Oh, Martine was laughing at you talking about we push. He says talking about they push you around. I know, Martine. Thank you. You see, you understand our pain.
We are kind and gentle.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mark, let us know where what this work is. Is it some kind of organization that you've started?
Shannon, stop being petty. Stop it. Stop being petty. Stop being petty.
I just want to know, since you know.
He left off saying that women are cursed, and then he said he does a lot of work with women. Like, what are we doing?
Oh, that is true. He says, in helping men access and articulate their deeper needs, Joanne Finkelstein, PhD, emotional issues. What the? He's so, now you talk about me being petty. He's petty. He's petty AF.
What Martine says?
Martine says, yes, Trent, they're being very gentle. Wait a minute, but what is this? Dr. Joanne Finkelstein. What the heck? Who did you Google this time?
Hey, now you have to. Hey, Mark be on his game when he Googling and coming with the research, watching game tape, something that you ladies do not do because y'all think y'all.
I was there. No need to. I was there.
Yep, y'all think y'all above the conversation.
No, we were just there. We were present. We don't have conditions that keep us from being present. And
Shannon's being petty right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we don't have.
I do have a condition with short-term memory loss. And actually, that's one of the reasons Shannon came on to actually assist me. So I will throw her an olive branch leaf. She did come on to actually assist me with the short-term memory thing, and she actually took complete advantage of me.
I did.
Complete advantage. Thank you for nursing me back, Nurse Shannon.
I do what I can do for the culture.
Yeah, now look what you've created.
Oh my gosh, y'all ought to learn to be nicer to the women because we're the ones that support you. They're the ones buying your books. How many men are lined up buying the books?
Ours is ton of women.
Thank you.
It's appreciated.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? And good. Actually, anybody who's actually gonna read the chapter of the Delta, you guys get a free book. I'm feeling very generous. Conversation with Trent, the limited edition. You guys could have it free of
Oh,
charge.
he cheap, y'all, so take advantage of it if you read the book.
So anybody who could tell me something about Romello, they could have the conversation with Trent, limited edition, free of charge.
Oh, I think we can all tell you something about Romello.
Whatever.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just playing.
No, but honestly,
I have to give you your props as the book, the way you wrote it. And I always say that I said it when I first read it. It's like it keeps you glued to the pages. It's not a big book, but like I read it in 90 minutes. So I sat through brunch and a couple of mimosas and finished the whole book.
Now let me put these young boys up on game real quick on why I pieced
still on here. Brendan, don't listen to any of this.
Why I pieced it out like that. The hustle in me,
Mm-hmm.
the business man that's within me. I broke the book down and I started selling it over the years. That's why the book is actually still going since 2012 or 13, whenever it was published. That book is still selling because I gave it to them in pieces. Continue to give it to them in pieces. The hustle man in me. But nah, Shannon, I really appreciate you actually keeping Romello on the ears of folks. You've done your job. I really appreciate it.
I had no idea. I still am like, who the hell was that person? Like, what type of women was you dealing with? That
very highly intelligent women.
Oh, now Ursula's on here.
Ursula, mind your business.
Highly intelligent women. What did she call them? Did she call them fleas?
She called them fleas.
Last I checked, I didn't know they were fleas were that highly intelligent.
Well, the ones that make the book is very highly intelligent.
Lord Jesus. So are you the ones that made the book were like mainly your exes? So please, you're not calling them fleas, are you?
No, not at all. They highly intelligent women who made the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a couple of surprises in the Romello book that they made the cut, so it's gonna be a few good surprises in that book as well.
Okay.
Romello in stores this fall.
I just can't. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand how they were all highly intelligent.
The ones that made the book. I'm not talking about the ones that Ursula's talking about.
We talking about just in general. But okay, anyway. Read the book. Read the book, everybody. Read the book.
There you go. Good stuff. Available at Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Amazon Prime, that is. Good stuff.
Really? I didn't know it was available in all those places. Okay.
Boy.
You might be legitimate.
Hey, baby, worldwide. Knock it off. I sell books in Germany, France, all parts of Europe.
Gotcha.
Knock it off. Now, let's get back to the conversation. So, the emotional needs. Let's go over these tidbits one more time. The 5 critical needs. 5 critical needs. Respect, kindness, courtesy, acceptance, feelings, opinions, and ideas of value, importance, and feeling of being useful. Very critical, very critical. And that's on both sides, not just women, but men as well. We're not robots, guys. We're not robots. We have to give these ladies some type of emotional feeling, some type of emotion so we could actually draw it out of them, because some of it could be very difficult at times.
Very
ladies.
True. No,
yeah. So we have to show emotion to get emotion. That's how you lead. You show emotion to get emotion. D, what do you think about that? What does your number say to that?
I don't know. You said that's how you lead. I kind of went, whatever.
See. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Let's spend the last couple of minutes here talking about that.
No,
why does the word lead turn you off or turn you guys off?
Because most of you don't know how to lead. You don't know and understand what it means.
Some men say something then.
Sir, if you don't stop taking information in and just accepting that it is information without taking it personal, then you need to have another talk. It's just information.
Well, you have to sideline coach me on that.
I don't
Good
have enough
stuff.
time
So
in the world.
it's 2 after the hour. Let's get to the teachable moment real quick. We had some good fun with this. Let's get to the teachable moment. So the teachable moment.
I thought that was a great response, Coach D. That was an absolute great.
As you notice, I ignored it with that one.
And just so I can say this, women don't have a problem with the word lead. It's the lack of the ability to lead in some men.
Yeah.
See, hey, D, did you hear Shannon just say that? Some men. See how that works?
Well, I didn't want to have to go back and forth with the tip for tat with you, so I just made sure I used that word. So you could feel better about yourself at the end of the day.
I'm in my petty zone here. But no, let's talk about the teachable moment.
Yes.
For the guys, the teachable moment for me is to learn to get into your feelings with that woman. What do you mean by that, Trent? Get into yourself, speak on how you actually feel, so you can have honest dialogue with her. That way she could be a little more softer, and you'll be her soft place to land once you open up to her. She'll feel comfortable enough to actually land. But open up to yourself, man. You have to open up to yourself and acknowledge your flaws and whatnot and all that good stuff. It's a balance, though. It's not a. I wanted to have fun with this one as well as coming in with some meat and potatoes and having a healthy conversation. Let's just be honest. All folks are unhealed at some point. We have to work our way to getting healed. And the only way to do that is self-talk and self-honest talk with ourselves. And I can only speak from a man's, point of view on that one. I had to have honest talk with myself to actually get into a healthy relationship with others. Not just romantic relationships, healthy relationship with others. I had to have that tough talk with myself. I had to take that mirror. I didn't need the hand mirror. I need that stand-up mirror to have that tough talk with myself. That's how I became emotional. Shannon, Coach D.
I think my teachable moment is just recognizing that one sex is not more emotional than the other, or more logical than the other, and that a healthy balance is required of both emotion and logic. I think for everyone in order to be able to coexist. I want to effectively and communicate with each other effectively.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment for me. It's a very emotional moment. Shannon listened to exactly what I said here on the podcast. This is a very emotional moment. Shannon, going on to that next platform, you stepping it up a notch here, man. This is
well,
good
I'm
stuff.
Getting a hair and makeup budget. I'm about to make it do what it do.
You guys see how I have to bribe her to do things?
And then
the hair and makeup,
her lip gloss budget. So
yeah, $100 lip gloss or whatever it is she's talking about. She going $100 lip gloss, all that stuff.
So my teachable moment is if you're communicating with somebody that you need to listen to understand and not listen to respond, that what they're telling you may have to do with you, but the power that you give those words in that moment will not allow you to hear them if you give them too much power. Exactly. So hear what they're saying and then have open communication afterwards.
Right.
It's good stuff. I want to take this moment to thank you, ladies, for actually this journey. It's a very, very good time in my life, moving the platform. I was very reluctant to coming back, and with Shannon's encouragement and Coach D's encouragement, Shannon all the way from helping me pick out the first suit to come back to this platform. It's very emotional for me that we're moving to a different stage with the platform. So I want you guys to know that I really appreciate you guys. Everything that you bring to the conversation. The conversation wouldn't be anything without either of you. So I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yes, you are very welcome. So I think we'll finish up with these last couple of comments just so I can make sure we acknowledge them. I don't want anybody sending me hate mail. He says there has to be balance. She agreed. Lanya said nobody wants to follow a fool, Trent. Remember I said that in St. Louis.
What did she say?
Nobody wants to follow a fool. So I'm sure that was in response to us talking about
Absolutely.
Lanya, I know you jumped off a minute. You're going to have to go back and watch the rest of it. There was too much. I don't know what point you jumped off, but there was a whole lot. So go back and watch the replay.
And that's Lanya for the folks, for the viewers. That's Lanya from Cubs Couch, Cubs Giving Hands, who actually brought me over into Missouri, and actually going into Illinois, October 26th. Cups Couch, as well as Cups Giving Hands. That's the nonprofit that I am the CEO and the CFO of that Fat Cat Entertainment. So good stuff here to come, and major things are
And
here to come. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. And last one for the night. And Mark, this is actually good. I'm going to give it to you. It says, a wise man said, truth without grace is just being mean. And
That's
I
deep.
actually agree with that.
That's deep. Are you agreeing with Mark?
I do. We agreed with Mark. I think this might be the third or fourth time. That But I'm glad this is at the end, because normally it's during the show, during the middle of the show, and he always finds a way to turn it around. So let's end on a high note with that. Thank you, Mark.
We'll end on a high note with that. And I also want to thank Slash for always doing the technical stuff for me, the stuff that I can't do with my hands. He's always there to deliver and stay up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning with me and working that platform out. So I love you, brothers. Really appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate all your behind the scenes work. And when we come back next week, I still want to know what work you're doing with women, what group, organization, nonprofit this is.
Could you just do this? You could have closed out and stopped being petty.
That's all. That's not petty. I'm just curious, since he brought it up, if it's something I can support. I want to make sure, that I bring awareness to it. If he's out here working with women and helping, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, that's all. I'm good. Time to go.
If I, ladies and gentlemen, if I blink twice, that means I'm endangered by these two. So as Mark always saying, smash that subscribe button. Again, smash that button. I'm telling you, smash it now, because in the fall, it's going to be $6.99 to smash that subscribe button. It's going to be a whole bunch of content that you guys are going to get, a whole bunch of free merch that you guys are going to get for that $6.99 a month. So smash that subscribe button now. Get into the conversation. Shannon, you want to close out?
No, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you on Sunday with another fire topic. And Mark, just be prepared to let us know about your women's organization.
This woman.
See you. Have a great night, Coach D. Feel better.
You guys be happy. Coach D, take care.
Bye.
All right.
Conversations with Trent, in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network, would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward, to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.